exponent. Generally, we don't like having our final answers having negative exponents in them. So to get rid of negative exponents, we can move an entire term to the denominator. When we do, the exponent becomes positive. If we already have a negative exponent in the denominator, if we want to make it positive, then the only place it can move is back up to the numerator. Then it will become positive. So, in conclusion, a negative exponent in the top, if we want to make it positive, needs to move down to the denominator. And something that's got a negative exponent that's already in the denominator, if we want to make its exponent positive, needs to move to the numerator. Even if that is a fractional exponent. So looking at this next piece, a negative exponent, you can make it positive by moving it to the bottom. Or vice versa, you can take something that's already on the bottom that's got a negative exponent and make it positive by moving it to the top. So let's look at a couple of examples of problems just like what we were doing, except for now we have negative exponents. So let's look at 27 to the negative 4/3. Well, we'll deal with this to start the exact same way we did with the previous problems, meaning start with whatever's on the denominator, which tells you what kind of root you're going to do, which in this case tells me I'm going to take the cube root of 27. Well, the cube root of 27 is 3. Now I can't forget about the top, just like before, which is a 4 here, which means now I need to raise it to the 4th power. Well, 3 to the 4th power is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Well, let's see what that ends up being. Well, the first 2 3s are 9, the second 2 3s are 9, and then 9 and 9 will give you 81. So the only thing I have not dealt with is the negative part of the exponent. Well, we just said that a negative exponent can be made positive by just dropping it to the bottom. Well, if we drop it to the bottom, the question is, what's still up on top? Well, there's always that hidden 1. So, all that negative exponent did was put our entire answer over 1. So, my final answer is just the 81 I came up with, but all over 1. Let's look at another problem. Let's look at B. On B, we have 81 to the negative 3/2. Again, we'll start the same way, looking at the denominator of the exponent. Well, that's going to tell us, again, what kind of root we're going to look at first, which is a square root of 81. Well, the square root of 81 is 9. Well, then I'd have to deal with the numerator, the top part, which is cubing whatever we just got out. Well, if we cube what we got out, which is a 9, we get 729. Again, the only thing we haven't dealt with is that negative on the exponent. How do we get rid of a negative on an exponent? Well, we just drop the entire piece to the denominator. What's hidden on top then is our hidden 1. So our final answer becomes 1 over whatever we had come up with, which is 1 over 729. So now the question